style. You either get bonus damage every third auto, or you get yourself the true damage that comes from, or the absurd amount of HP damage that comes from the passive plasma procs.
Yeah, definitely one way of putting it, that's for sure.
PPBat is a flex master. Last season he was a mid laner, and the season before that he was a top laner. This season he can be found in the jungle.
Huh. That's kind of fun, but didn't we get, was it last game as well, where Waljo was sort of like, where his...
Got flamed, yeah.
Got flamed, yeah, like, by the way, my jungler's Diamond 2. It's like, wow, that's rough. Just throw it out, that one.
That was a nice factor. That was a really
Even
nice
I'm Diamond 2.
Yeah, same for me, actually.
I played like a grand total of like, I don't know, 15 ranked games this season.
Wait, you got Flash already, damn. Okay.
That's big.
Rough. And, you know, obviously, like, PPBat will be running the Hex Flash, and obviously it's a Poppy who is kind of fine running that Hex Flash, but that's a really good early start. And Stefan, who is on this Karthus, will be wanting to power farm his way to level 6 and getting those farm advantages as fast as he damn well can. And that's a really good start. Knowing where the Poppy is, having the chunking out to begin with, makes this so much easier for the Karthus early on.
So it is going to be that first strike coming through for Stefan, and you may, by extension of this, see some weird-looking Karthus ults, but it is just to farm money. You will see Karthuses with first strike very frequently just ult off of cooldown if they don't think there's going to be a fight on a big objective within the next 2-3 minutes, just because it gives them money, and why wouldn't they?
Yeah, it's called life insurance.
Yeah, as someone who just graduated at business school, I can definitely tell you, ulting on Karthus with first strike is a good investment. It's a lot of money in the bank. It's a solid investment, good return as well. It's one I can recommend, as we do see the junglers comments. Regardless, though, I'm excited to see how Stefan plays this. It's very not his style, I would say, considering what he normally plays. You know, he likes the damage, yes, but I'm also seeing him as someone who can also be playing things like the Karthus, more mobile champions, whereas on Karthus, you're very mobile.
So I will put this out there, that Stefan is a player who's been playing, since Season 8 at this point? He's very flexible. Like, he's got a lot of games on, like, Kindred's his second most played, for example. He's got a lot of time on Viego, which is putting in last year. He has always been quite flexible, even if, obviously, this split, jungle has kind of been put in the role of, maybe you get a bruiser in the Wukong or the Vi, and otherwise you're kind of looking at Sejuani, and more recently, things like the Kha'Zix and the Viego have kind of come up in a response to those. We haven't really seen the AP junglers very much. We're not really seeing things like the Graves that much. So this is a little bit of a surprise, but Stefan playing it isn't that much of one for me in terms of just his history as a player.
I mean, Stefan, part of the ClickTech roster in 2018, I believe, as well, right? That beat OG at the first ever EU Masters. The very stacked OG roster with Insec and expecting the top lane, Froggen in the mid lane, I believe. But
That's a throwback.
That is a long throwback. I remember watching that game as a kid, being like, "How is Stefan beating my idols here?" Regardless, though, OG still went on to win the whole tournament, and Stefan will now just forever be remembered a legend as the team to beat OG.
Way back in the day, I remember that. Of course, Froggen on the Cassiopeia was doing great work. And Stefan, because he knows where everyone's been pathing, just gets to walk in to the enemy jungle and steal away blue buff, and PPBat just doesn't have an option. Look at the pressure in the lanes. There's no way to respond to this.
Exactly. You take a look at them, Voxney and Twist, they're not just pushing with Prio to potentially come Shadow, they're leashing the blue buff for him, right? Like, making sure that this is taken. If this Gromp goes over also, it gets Stefan that super fast 6.
There we go. Alright, well that's a big ignite down to PPBat, who is going to have to be healed by Soraka. Ambulance is there. The emergency care is enough to keep PPBat alive, but the Gromp's still up and they're not going anywhere! First blood about to go over, and it's on to Den Voxney's Kai'Sa. Maybe there'll be some turnaround, but I just don't think there's any ability to come and contest. Smite's on for Stefan, Harbo's at 20% HP. Beautiful use of priority by Nativz.
All of this is really worthwhile for Nativz. I don't care if they're sacking lanes, if they're missing experience. Getting Karthus to level 6 as soon as possible is mission number 1. And Nativz there, not only do they find themselves 2 camps for Stefan, they also find first blood for Den Voxney.
I mean, PPBat having used the flash early on in the game as well, after the invade, unable to find the escape without that summoner spell, and that much gold onto your carries here, kill on Den Voxney, assist, and the extra camps on Stefan as well. He's already got the lost chapter there. It's a really, really fantastic start, and I said that I thought Vanir could find a way back into, or find a way to win this game just out from the draft, but these first 5 minutes has just been pure Nativz dominance. This is absolutely crucial, as well as how they scale into the
again.
Not again.
Oh,
It just
no.
doesn't stop. And look, he's already a level up. He's going to come straight on in.
Smite.
Oh my,
We're
he gets
so good at
everything.
those Raptors. But he's jumping forward. He's at level 3. He's level 3. There is so little he can do. Every camp is a war zone.
And now Stefan gets to go back to his jungle, clear, top to bot, will be level 6 by the time he gets away with this, has double crabbed, has stolen away 3 camps from PP Bat early, and already more than double the farm of this Poppy, who has 1 wolf camp to take at present.
I mean, before I give Duckling a moment to speak as well, I also want to point out that both them Voxnate and Twist are running minion dematerializers. They were using to guarantee shove. Even in a a range matchup, they are absolutely using this priority to such a high level right now. It's really cool to see.
This is a horrifying position to find yourself in if you're Vanir right now, right? PBBat, how are you going to be playing the rest of this game? Your whole job will simply just to be a W button to try and persuade any further engage in the team fights, because, I mean, he lost his whole Raptors as well. He's level 3 to level 5. It's looking doomed, to be honest. That is something where you as a jungler would go FF next if you're playing in solo queue right now.
I want to touch a little bit more on your dematerializer point, Initialize, because the tech that we got to see, I think this was the first place I saw it, not sure if you piloted it, but was Uzi playing Vayne in the LPL.
Yes, that's a really good shout.
You
Yeah.
use the dematerializer on the range creeps, which now means that given the static shiv nerfs, your static shiv will still clear the backline of minions on first item completion. So on a Kai'Sa champion, where it's not the worst case in the world if you don't clear them because you just walk in, queue, and they all die, but it just makes that wave clear even easier. Those 6 minions get pretty much secured. You auto the first 3 creeps, and you queue first 3 creeps, you auto one of them, the whole wave dies. It makes wave clear on Kai'Sa infinitely easier, and that dematerializer, it may seem a little bit weird for AD carries, but it's a tech that we're starting to see develop.
I also just really like it when you're into a Soraka who otherwise might get the shove, right? Like, it's a way, and it's a Phalios as well, with things like the Infernum, with the ability to just, like, press Severum and chew it away, is pretty good at potentially getting that priority. And you could see the whole draft here from the side of Nativz is get prio for Stefan to absolutely murder the jungler. The level 1 flash, the level 1 look in, gets them that. They get to go for the invade. They fight over every camp. And look back at this. What on earth did Vanir get to do? Harbo's at 20% HP. He's got no options here.
I'm not sure why people had wanted to go in the first attempt either way. I mean, yes, he has his team around him, but as you said, Harbo is 20% HP. You know Nativz already rotated. They had the priority in the lanes as well, thanks to the dematerializer. So, yeah, that is a questionable engage. I think if you were Vanir, you should have just given it up, accepted you're not getting your blue buff and not getting your grump. But even without the engage, you would still have been left in a bad situation, losing half of your bot side jungle early on.
And it stems a little bit back to the question marks that we've had about PP pretty much this whole split, that the first few levels he seems generally not on the same page, not knowing particularly what to do, and there is an argument to be made. Karthus is clear, he's unequivocally faster than Poppies.
Oh yes, look at the CS.
He is now level 6.
No
is now
way.
level 6. But Stefan being this far
Harbo.
ahead is
Nah,
very
he's dead.
detrimental.
Oh, Harbo, this is not a fun place to be. Oh, Annie, it's time to go join your teddy bear in bed. It is an early night. The child in the mid lane absolutely eviscerated. Nowhere to go.
I think we have the answer to the song. Annie, are you okay? Annie's not
No.
okay. Holy moly. That's a rough one. Shikari even rotating down as well.
Bloodstains in the mid lane.
Oh, man. How many
I'm
more
just gonna
Michael
start
Jackson
quoting
quotes
that at
are
you.
there?
So many. That's a really that is a challenge I'm not sure I want to take up.
It's honestly for a bigger stage, I think, than Vanir Nativz in the regular season. Maybe.
Are you downplaying Vanir here? You have to remember, these guys have Danish coaches and 2 Danish players on the roster. This is a big team. Come on.
Look. I think Duckley just needs to beat it. He needs to leave this one alone and come
No,
back
I'm just
to
on my
it later.
copium. I'm coping hard here.
Yeah, that was so
look,
subtle that he didn't even notice. That's the
I
best
know,
part.
I know, great. Yeah, look, I know. Look, it's more. There's more than Denmark in this Earth song, mate. You just got to move on from this. There you go. I can keep going. Don't
Okay,
make me.
PP Bat is now bot lane.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, that's clean.
Ooh, but there's such a clean flash afterwards, and Deadbox has still got the flash and gets to walk away. Captain Jack, is that you?
Impressive stuff. Like, instant cleanse off of that, flash away, and that's PP Bat's pretty much whole play for the next 2-3 minutes, right? Use his flash at level 1 to get away from the Karthus. And now he loses his top side again.
The moment PP backed up bot, there was about 3 pings from Stefan, and he has just gone fantastic. It is time to hoover up another quadrant of the jungle.
Oh God, look at the CS numbers, guys. Like,
Oh, PP, no.
Is my red up? Do we think
he's gonna realize it now when he walks in? There's no red buff for him. There's no Raptors. There is no Santa Claus as well. There is no fairy tale.
He's coming as well. They know exactly where this is going.
Oh my! They're gonna go for the kill.
Flash?
They know
flash.
he's gonna be here.
Do it. Commit.
They're gonna flash over or something. They're gonna jump. Oh, no!
Not again.
No. He's getting war flashbacks to last week now. I mean, this cannot be fun for him.
Now,
I mean,
this is an important question to ask. Do we think that if Stefan gets all 4 quadrants of the jungle plus mid lane farm, that he can carry 4v5?
Yes. No doubt in my mind.
I think there is a world where that could happen. That's the problem. Like, I think it would be significantly harder. But maybe I tell you what. Let's leave this alone for a second. We have got confirmation from production. I think that what there is a slight.
It is a bloody mid DC.
Yeah. So hopefully that gets resolved. We do want that to be dealt with because obviously Nativz playing this game out so well with a comp that was definitely a bit interesting. And I tell you what, guys, maybe should we start there? Actually, it's probably an interesting point to talk with in terms of obviously Nativz are feeling pretty confident about being top 2 in the split for obvious reasons. I am really enjoying the fact that they have pulled out something very, very different with very different win conditions and doing it with pretty heavy style. Yes, maybe not against like the absolute top of the table right now, but if you want to see a bit more from like in terms of like flexibility from teams, options for teams, this is something I'm really happy to be seeing.
It's one of those questions where we always come to the playoff stage and you're thinking, okay, we're sending these teams to EMEA Masters. Are they just a one-trick pony team that does one thing really well that's going to get exploited by other ERLs that have got more experience playing up against better caliber of team? Well, now we're seeing that showcase of Nativz. Okay, they've probably secured themselves top 2 for this split, and at the very minimum, they have almost certainly secured themselves playoff. Whilst it's not mathematically feasible, we expect them to take playoffs anyway. I think regular season is the best time to try and experiment with these new compositions where you still have stage practice with this style of play, but you're not also doing it in scrims where it's like, oh, is this replicable? Is this something that we can do on a stage game? They are now pulling out in the stage game and saying, okay, we can do it.
But they did not go for the play, though. I was really anticipating them to go for PB right there.
It would have been a little bold, perhaps. I mean, it would have been exciting, but I think it would have been a bit bold. But what is still a 40 CS lead in the jungle that is seemingly just getting larger and larger and larger. And yes, Poppy is low economy, but Karthus that gets ahead is anything but, right? He is a kind of multiplicative force in and of himself because he just gets to press R and affect the whole map.
Look at his jungle item as well. It's 27 stacks still waiting for PB before he's able to get his item jungle pit upgraded. There's just 15 left on Stefan. I mean, that's, what, 10 more camps he's taking, considering there's the bonus one that comes in every now and then as well. That is a massive difference here. You can see it in the CS, you can see it in the gold. And I am genuinely fearful of what will happen to Vanir when Stefan starts pressing ultimate, because he's gonna be dealing so much damage.
Well, now when Stefan gets a kill, he's going to get a bounty, and that's probably going to trigger a lot of other objective bounties across the map as well, which puts a claim on his head, and that's the one real way to success for Vanir at the minute, is to take him down.
No way!
My God, that's going with the ult! The Soraka Hill will just about keep him there. Oh, that got very, very close. Clutch Soraka Hill, and that is why that is a good response. But he does have to burn Flash for that. Of course, he is a Tristana, so not the worst champion without the Flash. Either way, the ults have been used. Harbo's going to have to back, and they're going to have to also pull off the dragon on Nativz.
I have to quickly point this out. Stefan pressed R. He got enough gold to proc the bounty without getting a kill because of first strike.
You're so right.
Holy
That's unreal.
No way. He was. That just shows how far ahead he already was, right? And now they'll start up the Drake as well. This is absolutely disgusting. Holy, I cannot believe what I'm watching.
There's no smite fight either. This is 900 versus 600 in smite levels because of that level, or because of the smite disparity that you'd already pointed out earlier, Duckling.
And look where the laners are. They're all trapped under their towers as well. There's no realistic way you're getting into that river.
I mean, I know Liam Cole is fantastic on the Aphelios, but I'm not sure even Liam Cole Aphelios can salvage this game anymore. I mean, the early game lead, it is not all doom and gloom yet, right? You can still find your way back into the game, maybe get the big team fight. You do have some tools there if you get them all grouped up together, but still, Natives have been absolutely phenomenal so far, using their wave pressure as well. The priorities that they have, getting the Drakes, getting your opponent's camps as well. I mean, they've really taken their laning phases, laning leads, and just pushed that to the absolute limit into Stefan.
Some of the criticisms that I've had of Vanir in times gone past is that they always look strong in the early stages of the game but can never close out. They'll make crucial mistakes that end up thwarting them in a game. Unfortunately, this is a bit of a different look for Vanir, where they've just not looked strong at all. They have just been completely steamrolled. And for a team who my criticisms have been in those later stages of the game, where even if they have a lead, they've not been able to close out, this really does spell doom and gloom for this match, with Nativz being 3,000 gold up, having super farmed Karthus already. Their ways back into this game seem limited at best.
I think eyes on next. I'm just looked into Karthus' inventory. I've seen he's on 10 CS a minute in the jungle. Has got a Leandries, has nearly got his jungle upgrade to a full-on Emberclaw. Like, this Karthus is monstrous. And you've got a static Shiv. And, of course, you've got the Nara and the Tristana, who are going to be sideline threats themselves. The sheer amount of just wave clear and shove this team is working with right now, it's going to be very difficult for Vanir to actually put the brakes on. Especially if they can snowball to get a few more of these plates with the Herald and stuff before those fall off as well.
Exactly, right? I think you're highlighting a great point, especially that Herald. You still have 1.5 minutes on the plate. You need to use that soon. And it doesn't matter what lane, because it'll be Stefan getting the gold regardless. That's totally fine. Give that man more gold. So essentially, he can just wait and choose, see where an opportunity arises now, and just say, yeah, I want my gold from this lane. But he needs to hurry, because he only has 1.5 minutes to decide, and it looks to be mid lane.
With the Tristana, makes sense.
Get demolished procs. That turret's not quite going to go down to this charge, but it's going to be one, stiff breeze away from falling if Vladdy wants to pop a couple autos in. It certainly makes a bit of sense. I don't know if it's too early to start talking about this, and I may well just go for it anyway. Now, there's been one plate that's been taken down on the bot side, so the Ultra Super Mega Perfect game isn't on for Nativz.
That was early.
Oh.
But a perfect game certainly seems on the cards this time.
Oh, perfect-ish game.
You have a Karthus. Stefan is one time gonna make a mistake, step too far up, and be killed. Don't worry, that will happen.
Right.
Or then Voxley will suicide with killer instinct. I know him well enough. He's gonna either get bigger and then be like,
just
it's time for
the bus, why don't you?
No. I mean, that Voxley is absolutely fantastic on League of Legends. There's no doubt about that. But if he gets like 5, 6, 7, 0,
I'm telling you,
he can go forward, he will.
I will slide into his Twitter DMs later and say, by the way, this happened. Oh, it's another. It's a farm ult, isn't it?
There we go.
Just
more
stacking up the
gold.
He probably needed to finish an item.
We just got he just used it to get Hextech ulted here for everyone.
Normally you're like, oh teammates, can we get a turret or something so I can get a bit more gold? No, he just ults and then just farms his investment in there. I mean, this is absolutely bonkers. Just look at the difference between the junglers. If we could see the gold, I would love to see how far ahead Stefan is.
I think it might be a bit inappropriate for Oh no,
That's
2,000.
That's 2,040 minutes without him having a single kill in his pocket. And now Harpo could be in trouble.
Let's throw down the Tibbers. The turnaround's pretty good. Gonna stop out that keeper's verdict, though. Stefan's over the wall. I'm not sure you want this. I'm really not sure you want this. Vladdy gets stunned. Just about survive. Buster shot away on Harpo, and everyone just about gets away with their health B-bars intact. But that got a little bit close to the wire for both teams.
I mean, if only Stefan had the break from there, he would have been able to secure 2 kills. Regardless, though, I mean, they get out. He was busy clearing the jungle at the beginning of the fight. I do see some opportunity, though, for Vanir. They definitely still have the damage, and it's not, all too easy for Nativz as long as Stefan isn't there.
I need to go on.
Yeah, go on. I say that, but I was like looking at the gold league at the top. That's all I was going to say. Is like, is it?
It's 5k at the minute, so it's not just Stefan that's exceptionally far ahead. It turns out putting 5 plates into a Tristana also gives her a gold lead, and perfect CSing in the top side is also pretty good for gold. I will say Kitano, I mean, he's done, I'd say, pretty well in this top matchup, given it's Gnar versus Malphite, and he's only 20 CS down this late into this late stage into the laning phase. That's like decent enough for me, honestly, as a Malphite. One of the small things that, and again, this is a very small thing, very minute in terms of the detail, have to criticize Stefan's ulting from base strategies. Harpo should be fine. What you can do on Karthus is you sell all of your items, buy ability haste, refund it, then build your items back into AP, and you get a shorter cooldown on your ulti, and you use the AP burst from the items, as Vanir may get this Drake.
Yeah, let's see what happens here, though, because the thing is, Stefan is uptaking his Herald at the moment. Might look to make his way down. Requiem is up in a couple of seconds, so Nativz could still fancy a fight.
Oh. Thinking about it, but again, it's not necessarily the strength of their comp. And they decide against it for now. Into the jungle, though, we go to the top side of the Harbo. Does to use the stopwatch. We'll try down the ultimate. The burn comes through. Soraka has to pop the ult as well, but now they're down that. Kitano misses the ult because of a good flash from Voxnate. Fight now still available. Keeper's verdict will knock one member away. Peepat taken low, though. Into the wall is Stefan, but he's so hard to deal with. Is this the moment? The perfect game is ruined! And they get one back.
They did already lose the Drake. Sam, I'm gonna have to pull you up on that one.
True.
Drake counts for perfect games, but Nativz batting off just a little more than they can chew, and this is something that Vanir, through the mid game, have certainly turned up on, finding these team fights where they should be finding leads, or maybe shouldn't be finding leads even, but are managing to come back. Poppycopter to step away Stefan, who is by far and away the scariest member on this team, and then take a fight afterwards, was very well played.
That was absolutely massive. I think if he got either Twister or Vladdy with him as well, either way, it ended up being Shikari and then Voxna isolated. And I mean, yes, while they are still far, you know, they're ahead in every single lane, they are not massively far ahead in every single lane to the point where as long as Stefan isn't here, they can just win the fight straight up. A good knock into the wall for Pipibat, who has had a rough early game being camped out. He has been showing up in the one fight that's been there so far, and if he can keep putting up those performances, Vanir are still in this game.
And I think it's, you know, also I've got to call out, I said Stefan, it was Shikari got killed. I'm a bad human, I'm sorry, I should have been better. But what I will say is that was also a fight just before the second items were complete. Now look in the inventory of Voxnate and the inventory of Stefan, the second items are in. They are now at a greater point of power than Vanir, a lot more categorically. That kind of moment before second items are complete is often a moment where teams behind will try and find a way back into a game, and maybe, just maybe, Vanir will try and defend this top lane type. I just don't know how much they can do.
It's gone. It's gone instantly. The thing is, Vanir could be looking to fight. They're rotating up 4 members. Harbo did have TP as well, but Kitano, without any medic resist really to his name, just takes so much damage from the burst from Stefan, and with that, it won't look for any opportunities. Just a free turret there for Nativz. Still Herald to play for as well as Stefan here has it in his pocket, so there are more opportunities within the next couple of minutes for Nativz to try and grow this lead with more turrets.
I have a request for our observers. The next time we see what I'm going to call an economy Karthus ult, where he just ults for seemingly gold purposes, go back to Stefan. I need to hover over him to see the first strike gold pop up afterwards. This is,
that would be
like
great.
I say, for a little bit later on, if we see Stefan just do a YOLO ulti to see gold come through, that's what I'm after, because he got plus 54 for 2 Qs onto Kitano right there. I'm thinking that the ulti does maybe a little more damage across the team.
Possibly. Peepat's gone forwards here. That means Twist's going to be potentially looking to go back in. The Solify comes through, but this is going to be a 3v4. Peepat like very, very low. The Wish comes out, the Ignite is on, and the Wish is for nothing.
Wait.
Stefan gets the kill with the burn, and now, actually, maybe a bit more follow-up. I think it'd be risky to go under tower Voxnate, so I suggest against it for now, but now a siege onto a tier 2 can begin. The AP damage beginning to hurt just a little bit. Herald number 2 as well. This tower's gone. It's going to be a tier 3 charge.
Yeah,
ouch.
It certainly is. And they're going to get tier 2 in the mid lane as well. Kitano can't stop that either. I mean, they're snowballing this lead heavily, up to 8,000 gold now. They're in full control. Stefan got the kill there as well, so the gold is going on the right targets. Everything is looking good now for Nativz.
This is a great example of kills not being needed to win games of League of Legends. We are 4 kills total, 20 minutes into a game. You will see LCK, LPL games where no turrets have been taken with this kill score, but Nativz in this game have got an 8,000 gold lead, have already broken open the Vanir base just by using lane control to get Stefan money.
And on top of that, right, like we said, it was like it's 8,000 gold. That's huge at this point in the game. But it's also the rate of growth. We were talking about this gold lead 2 minutes ago, and that was 5,000. They just got 3,000 gold off that shove effectively. Towers in bot lane, they get that shove into mid, they get kills. Like, there's not a lot more you could ask of that play. And if this keeps snowballing away, yes, you've got a better team fight. But if you're trying to team fight 2 items to 4 or 3, that is so hard to do, especially with just the raw amount of damage Nativz have on the board.
And the thing is, Baron now on the map as well. Losing a fight of your Vanir just becomes that much more critical, because that means the Baron will go over into the hand of Native. We can see how many turns have just managed to take without that buff being there. And with the Baron buff in Native's pocket, they would surely be able to break open the base and maybe just even end the game there. So now we need to be even more careful about being picked off, especially Pipibat, who just can't afford to die because he has that smart.
Also worth pointing out here, and I would like to sort of maybe start this discussion before Dragon starts. I don't feel Vanir have any real way of contesting. Vanir drafted for the team fight. They drafted to try and pick off these squishy members and deny the ability to pull off these side lane plays with all the globals and stuff that Nativz has about. That's fallen apart because of how far they're down in the early game. Like, what actually is their play pattern to come back into this? Because at the minute, it doesn't feel like they're ever going to get a 5v5 that's resembling
in any way favourable. Yeah. The play pattern is honestly replicate what they did to find their first kill. It's knock away probably 2 members with the Poppycopter and try and blow up somebody in the interim. Because Kitano has enough lockdown with the Unstoppable Force, you can slam said person then into a wall, try and find a kill there. The issue is, we're at this stage in the game and we're at a gold lead, where knocking one person away probably doesn't matter who it is. Nativz will still have the gold lead in a 4 versus 5. That's why I say it needs to be 2 people that you're knocking away to give you any discernible chance at trying to come back into this fight. Now, Liam Cole has hit 2 items. I think when Harbo hits Void Staff, that one-shot capability onto a squishy exists. Quick, look at Stefan, look at Stefan.
Oh no, he's...
How much money?
Gold.
No!
He was able to buy the second needlessly large rod.
I know, but he's very close for death cap right now.
And the thing is, he has already Flame Horizon PvP in just 21 minutes, I think it was. Absolutely unbelievable.
Is that an over-under or when Nilla did it yesterday?
Unsure, actually. Unsure. I can't remember when
I need to
when
go back and look at the
Flame
VODs.
Horizon.
It was pretty fast there as well.
Yeah, very, very fast. But he was also absolutely crushing it.
But I will also say, it's a lot harder to do in the jungle. Like, generally speaking, you don't get access to anywhere near as much farm in the jungle. This is a monumental play by Stefan and the rest of Nativz to set him up.
Ooh.
Oh, twists. That was an unfortunate moment.
Yeah, generally
Wait,
great flex, though.
maybe the turnaround here could be fairly okay. I'm just going to point that out there, that you've lost a member, Baron's up, they're in the right area. You've just burned Flash on Stefan. Yeah. How greedy are they feeling? Not going to happen. Okay, it was a fool's hope to begin with. I will also say that's the second fail Flash I've seen from Twist this game. Come on, sort it out.
This game he's allowed, I think.
As well. I know.
Well, you should
need to pull him aside. Coach needs to have a word with him in the halftime break.
We're both seeing this, right? Shikari's on the Nexus turret.
Yeah, no, I just don't want to talk about it. It's fine. Don't think about it too hard.
Oh,
what's going on?
Maybe.
All right, fight going on. Deadbox needs to flash away, and the health bars are very low. Good shield come through.
Oh,
Be back.
Liam Cole.
Not out. Maybe the turnaround's going to hit Liam Cole. Will get healed back up.
There's
and
no
now,
record.
actually, with that pick, how much further can they think about going? Baron is up, but remember, as you were saying, the split threat is so hard. Are they almost forced into doing the Baron, or is that all?
No, they can't, because if they wait too long, Stefan will get the Requiem back up, and then he will just be having a gold mine with all the kills he'll be farming. Oh, that was so close, Liam Cole. Had he had maybe half an item more, he would have had the damage. He had a flash forward there. So close to turning the game, really, you have to feel. But unable to.
Vladdy's Buster Shot is what we need to call out there as MVP material. The second Liam Cole flashes in, Vladdy goes, no thank you, buddy. I appreciate the fact that you could kill us all, and I'm going to deny you that opportunity. Very, very clutch ulti there from the Nativz mid laner, making sure that his team stays alive, and honestly making sure that this game doesn't swing even just the slightest bit toward the Vanir side of this rift. It is still very much a Nativz flavoured game. The fact that they've broken open a mid lane inhibitor or a bot lane inhibitor, sans Baron, actually impressive in its own right. And with Hullbreaker for Shikari, I think he's just going to keep barreling down that bot side. He did good work on that tier, on that Nexus turret already.
I will also say that we're kind of seeing the two sides of the Nativz comp here. Because when it's played perfectly, insanely oppressive, so little you can do. You see one fail flash, and suddenly Twist gets picked up, and then you get a pick onto Voxney as well. And you can see, for all that it is strong when played well, the moment someone makes an error, it's very punishable by Vanir's comp. They've got a lot of pick tools, and they made the right play. I just don't know whether it's enough. Baron's been started, and Vanir are going to try and come and contest.
Yeah, there is so much pressure on this Baron now. Really, that's where our eyes are at. But the thing is, if Kitana wants to join the fight, yes, he could TP in. But when he TP's in, they just lose the game. Then we're back to Worlds 2020, where TSM traded the Baron for the game. And I don't think Vanir want to see themselves in that same situation. Harbo, though. Almost. Oh, he actually got Stefan. I think Stefan's dead. No. Oh,
no, he's not. He's just about alive. Needs to run away, though. Find a way to recall. Will be just about fine.
Stop him. Will they see him? Liam Cole?
Tries to go back in. That's a decent amount of chunk of PvP is here in the flank. Twist about to die for this one, and that will give license to start up the Baron. Stefan has not been able to recall. Voxney taken so desperately low, and this is a big moment. Voxney's AP threats will be huge. Has to force out the wish with the ultimate from Karthus. On the Baron, they go for Garfield, taken so low. The Leandri's burn forcing a delayed reset. Harbo is very, very low as well. Vladdy at a high HP bar.
TP
These
Gitano,
W's
he
doing
wants it.
so much work. TP coming through.
Stefan hasn't reset.
Stefan so low. He hasn't been able to. There's just no room. Kitano gets a kill onto Demvoxne. Baron is secured. And Vanir finds the miracle picks. They are going to start to be on turns on Stefan so low. He's going to go as well. And Nativz are being taken apart of the Baron pit.
A triple kill for the Malphite, maybe not the gold lead that we were expecting Nativz to fumble. This is the second game in a row now where we've seen them have struggles to close out a game, and this one, much more domineering a fashion than they were in than yesterday. The Baron goes over to Vanir. They're going to be able to steal away another dragon, which delays that soul even further, stopping Nativ's win condition in its tracks. And slowly, gents, we're seeing the Liam Colaphilios prophecy come truer and truer by the minute.
Boy. I'll also throw this in there. It's again where the exit kills to plays are plaguing Nativz. They were trying to reset off a Baron bait, and Liam Cole just a Gale Force in. Stefan doesn't get to reset. And how much work do they do from there? Huge swing. And look at the gold lead. It's back now to only 3,000 in the favor of Nativz.
But this kind of ties back into the game Nativz had yesterday against Nord. They had a massive goal lead, but all of a sudden they were struggling to close it out, and they were getting ever so slightly closer. But Nord were able to still find the kills to get themselves back into the game and keep the game relevant. Vanir have done just that now as well. Yes, the game is still in Nativ's hand. Yes, there is only one Nexus turret standing between Nativz and the win. But Vanir, I mean, they're keeping the hope alive. They're getting their items on their carries. 302 on Liam Cole. The prophecy still lives. We all saw the damage Harbour was able to do, almost one-shotting Stefan. So he is also relevant in this game as a carry. So Vanir definitely still live here, but Nativz, they're the ones who we'll see if they can close it out.
Oh!
No way!
Demvoxne just deletes
but he's dead though.
It's a moment of beauty that's immediately turned around. AD carry for support. That is going to be Vanir favored for now.
I called it. That was exactly what I thought he would do. Earlier, when I said he would just jump in when he saw the opportunity.
All that to be said, that this is now Vanir getting a push 4 versus 4 on the map, where the enemy AD carry is out of the game, and they've got Baron at their back. The gold, again, swinging closer and closer to parity in this match. Vanir take down the mid-tier 1 turret, which is not only great for gold, but more so great for map pressure, then being able to sneak into the bot side of Nativ's jungle, make sure that they can put a couple wards down. Future dragons going to be a little bit easier to set up for us. But looking for Vladdy isn't going to find him necessarily. I do want to quickly mention, though, all of these points about the Vanir composition coming back and certainly having power later on, it's exceptionally true. Nativ's composition still scales absurdly into this late game, right? Karthus, Tristana, Kai'Sa are all demons as we hit the late game. Tristana, the longest range AD carry in the game. Karthus, one click, kill your entire team button. And the Kai'Sa, poke that is disgusting from 3 screens away. Despite Vanir's great comeback into this game, it's still a very difficult composition to play against in the late stage.
The only thing they have to be a bit afraid of, though, is the 5v5s around these objectives are easier to execute for Vanir. It's not the Nativz don't have tools to pull them off. They've certainly got enough damage there and some good flanks and all the rest of it we've just been talking about. They can play around those objectives. They can look to tear the map apart with some of their split push threats. But Vanir have got the easier go buttons, and that has been helping them pick their way back into this game. And it feels like just maybe, more than just maybe, frankly, they can close out this game and punish Nativz for being a little bit greedy in some of their resets.
But what I'm looking for now, it's Harbo, right? How close is he to getting that Ravenous Death Cap? He's almost there. Already has the 2 needlessly large rods, as he might be looking for something. When he gets that Ravenous Death Cap, rather, I should say, he's able to one-shot anyone except for Shikari. So if he finds a Stefan, if he finds an Voxne or Vladdy, they will all just disappear. But the problem is, as we see, Nativz are splitting the map here, and they're cancelling the recalls with the Requiem. Could they end the game?
I don't know if they can do that, but they've got inhibitors that they can certainly look to get off. It's going to be a TP out. They get the inhibitor in bot lane and the Nexus tower in top. So inhibitor tower in top. That's a worthy trade right there. Great ult from Stefan to prevent the recalls.
It's just really good 1-3-1 play here from Nativz. The fundamentals starting to come back to them. DV has flash. I think that Kitano knows that there. Just holding his ult, knows that he doesn't really want to trade that for Demvoxne flash at this timer, just because there's a Drake soon, Baron soon. Malphite without ulti. Not nearly the same beast as one with it.
Question now becomes, I wonder, do Nativz actually want to play for this dragon, or do they just want to sit there and be obnoxious and let the split pushers do their work. They've actually got a Nexus turret down.
Neither team needs to play for this dragon, right? It's not sold for either one of them. The Baron is a much higher objective for both of these two teams. Your option is maybe keep Vladdy on the bot side of the map so that he can sneak it away while you're doing top side prep. Den Voxney is where our eyes should be looking at when we're looking at these objectives. He's got the Void Seekers, he's got the big poke to keep people at bay, and by extension, it's then looking at Garfield to see how well he can keep the team topped off, how much HP he's having to give back to his teammates when the poke is landing. The Kai'Sa-Soraka war in the late game is going to be very important to keep track of.
If just Harbo could get that level 16 on Rabadons for the next fight, it would be absolutely crucial. His damage would skyrocket in the burst combo, but the thing is, being grouped up so early, denies him the opportunity of getting any gold and any XP really, and with the poke here from Den Voxner, forcing Garfield to heal his team up. Drake has now spawned, 15 seconds still on the Baron. Let's see if they split the map, how they'll play this. Shikari has TP if he wants to TP to the bot wave, there's 2 super minions on it.
Dragon has started over the wall. They go to Harbo, who is taken so desperately low. But once again, Wish prevents the easy pick. It was rougher in the early game. Den Voxner goes in, gets a huge chunk, will not get any more. Out comes the ult from PB-Bat. They're going to throw down the Requiem for a vast orbital strike. The burn onto Harbo. Not quite enough, and a Molten Shield will keep them alive, but they have to reset. They cannot be here for Baron, and there are minions all over their base.
And this is why I said teams don't need to care so much about this dragon. Yes, Vanir secure it, but it comes at the cost of this Baron. Now, if Nativz don't end the game, this is worth for Vanir, and if they can maybe find the soul in 5 minutes time, then they risk versus reward has gone their way. But for now, they've got an ungodly siege to try and defend against, and it's not going to be easy.
And how often do you say this? It's Malphite that's stuck between the rock and the hard place. Where does he go on the map? You've got 2 split pushes to deal with. You've got an inhibitor down, an exposed inhibitor on the other side, a Nexus turret down. And yes, you've got options in the 5v5, but you can see when Nativz are able to pull off the split push without getting caught elsewhere, it is so difficult for Vanir to find a response.
Den Voxney Flash is the real key tool, I think, to how this split push gets to be played. If Den Voxney's got Flash, he's never really in danger of the Malphite. If he doesn't have it, that's when engages can come through very easily for Vanir. Harbo's Flash as well, by extension, just as important as PPBat is looking for the Kai'Sa.
Den Voxner has the cleanse as well, though. Liam Cole on 4 items has the GA. But they just have to play the team fights, but I don't think Nativz will let them. Just 2 men in the side wave, 1-3-1, set that up, it's clean, just buff the minions. Harbo will struggle to clear them. I mean, this is standard League of Legends, and it's good at PPBat.
Oh, another Q might think about doing it, but there's a quick heal in from Garfield, just about topping up PPBat, who has to flash out from the solar flare to add into the insult to injuries. He was getting close to getting 3rd-degree burns from the sun. The sunscreen not strong enough in this one so far, and the shove commences, the pressure commences. Yes, you're down 4 kills, but look at the map state, look at your base. Vanir, can you hold on? Inhibitor number 2 falls, and then Voxney throwing up more and more of these Void Seekers.
Fight here.
Oh, here we go. They try and get onto Stefan. They get a choke, but the turnaround is huge. There's the knockaway. They'll get some damage back. Stefan will be forced into his life beyond death. Will instead pull out a Requiem. Is it a swan song for the game? Not quite. The health bars are low from Vanir, but no one is dead. Yes, you get a kill, but again, you lose an inhibitor. Again, your health bars aren't there. They've got 1 Nexus turret remaining. You have to stop the shove.
4v5. They've got 1 minute to hold off the Baron.
Oh, it's a big knock!
Back. They do get the Soraka. They get Harbo as well, and now it's a 3v4. Liam's Coles of Phelios will begin to throw out the chakrams. Green-white is enough danger to maybe get some damage back. A buster shot away will force a disengage, and Nativz cannot close, but they do critical structural damage.
They've done it though, Vanir. They've held off. That Baron is going to wear out before any push comes through. Now is when we see Vanir get funneled gold. 3 waves of double super minioned up waves flying into the Vanir base, and it looks like their bot inhibitor is just going to respawn as well. One small semblance of hope for the Vanir side. Now Liam Cole gets to farm up an absolute storm, hit that 5th item. Max level, max item Aphelios for a very important Drake fight. 90 seconds away. Vanir need to trim top lane, trim bot lane, and push those waves out as far as possible. Make a last stand at the soul to give them a way back.
I like how easy you say it is, but you're trimming how many waves against a comp that has been designed to just shove you into base. Don't be deceived by the kill score. We've seen it all game. Yes, Vanir can find picks, but can they find an advantageous map state? They need a team fight that gets them more than just one pick, that gets them more map state than just this.
The problem is, can they get the team fight, right? We've seen Nativz be so good at splitting the map, and that's just what they need to do one more time. The inhibitors are still open, 5 minutes somewhat still on that middle inhibitor, for example. So, yes, they can go down to the soul, but they would just lose their nexus. It would either be Vladdy, Steph, or Shikari who just goes in and ends the game. So the thing is, you're trying to force a team fight, and Nativz can just say, no, we'll just end the game if you want to force the team fight. So then you have to take it in the nexus. And all of a sudden, we're in a whole different situation where Nativz could just look to try and end the game before the team fight really erupts. Liam Cole, though, 4 builds, 6-0-3 on his patented Aphelios. If there's anything that could bring Nativz to win, it's him. As Kitana looks to pick off Den Voxner.
Teleport coming in, Den Voxner will throw out the ult on the other side.
Holy
Comes the Requiem, massive chunk again, forces the wish in response. Ult for ult has been the way the entire game. But that will force Vanir back. They've been losing their health bars, but not members this entire game. Inhibitor number 3 once again down. Vanir pinned back into their base. And Nativz will decide not to shove and instead look towards a dragon. Try and tear Vanir away from their next defense.
I think Duckling's point is actually way too powerful here. There's no fight around this Drake to be had, because if anybody steps out of this base, Nativz send double TP forward and they just end the game. So this is, I guess, the benefit of them having taken that earlier dragon, which cost them the Baron, which led to their Nexus being exploded, is that they now didn't lose soul. It's a very, very thin veil of hope that we're throwing Vanir's way, and with a minute left on that Baron, those inhibitors aren't going to be respawned in time. Decidedly not the bot lane one. Maybe there won't be super minions in mid and top when that Baron spawns, but it's still going to be a very close run thing.
5th item in for Liam Cole. He is now 5 items. How many times has Split as the story about this guy's Aphelios come through? We brought it up again this game. He is in position to try and save everything, pull out the miracle, or at least pull out a 9th tier spell in the Wish. This was D&D. You know exactly what kind of fight this would be. The big bad evils of Stefan on this Karthus and the rest of Nativz looking to close out. It's been a very interesting game that a couple mistakes cost them their nearly insurmountable advantage.
The thing is,
4
right,
minutes until Soul.
The longer the game goes here as well, it will be mainly Liam Cole soaking up these mini waves, and that doesn't really make a difference. He's already full build, while Den Voxner and Vladdy continue to clear out the waves, continue to get stronger. Harpo, for about the past 10 minutes, hasn't really been CSing, to be honest with you. And the problem about that is, when your other carry is on full build, it should have been Harpo soaking up the waves, but his wave clear is just not good enough, so it will be Liam Cole on that duty. As soon as this Baron spawns, Nativz will just take it, and then they can, really try and assemble that final push. Vanir have 1 fight left, and that's at that Nexus, so they have to stop them before they start hitting it.
Super minions aren't spawning top, they aren't spawning mid lane. It means that the inhibitors are going to spawn soon. You need to see them force a fight at these inhibitor respawns. If the Nativz roster can walk in with Baroned up super minions, it doesn't matter if you take a fight at your Nexus, the minions are going to end before the fights even come to its conclusion. A fight at the walls of your base has to be taken, and Vanir, they're already behind on that.
It's time to go back to Thermopylae. 300 must hold the line. They must do the best to turn around what feels to be an absolutely unstoppable tide of minions and power coming in from Nativz. They're at the Nexus, and then again, an inhibitor respawns. Again, it falls to Nativz. Vanir trying to find an angle to get into the backline, but in comes the ult. It'll be a Wish responding afterwards. There he is, keeping people alive just about, but look at the Nexus. BBBat will knock away Vladdy, who was trying to get people in, but already they finally lose a member. It's been a while since we've seen a Vanir member fall. BBBat has to run away. Shikari starts hopping on forwards. He's mini now. Harpo throws out an Incinerate.
Oh, they can just end the game.
Zappen has to flash away, but it's gone. It's over. Nativz finally close it out. Vanir